Randy. Seth.
This is that show. Welcome into the show. That was bad. Boy,
bad intro.
You want to talk about bad intros?
Wow. Welcome into
the. This is that show. Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Potty mouth.
All right. Early.
Potty mouth. That's Seth. I'm Randy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I was thinking about that on the intros because that's always a thing. You know, we kind of have a thought of how the intro is going to be. Because, because the music is put in post.
Yeah.
So it's not like we don't hear that coming into it because it doesn't exist yet. It goes in after. And that's why I was trying to think of how, because I don't listen. I just mix it in, so I don't listen to the whole intro. Plus, it's my voice. I get a little tired of hearing it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm trying. Well, you can run it.
No, my voice is terrible. I sound like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, pulling out a vegetable.
Yeah.
But so I was trying to think of it because I don't listen to that portion. I just mix the music down.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think. That's when you see me trying to think of what we actually say coming into it, and it is Wideside Sports or whatever. So that's what I was going to say. This is that show.
No.
Welcome into. Then I didn't have anything else. It was just it was a bad look from a professional program.
Well, it's our program.
Yeah.
So one of the things with having a toddler is these stupid ass kid shows, right? Like there's these weird ones that I didn't obviously grow up watching because they're going to come up with new shit by the time I was a child. But there's one show, it's called Bluey, and it's about like this family of Australian dogs. And in the intro, it's like do 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 do, and then like it goes Dad, and I instantly thought of do 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 Randy. That's like the intro. Do 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 Seth, and then it goes Wideside Sports. Like that's what I thought of.
If that's what you think, I won't clip that and use that because that's what's coming. Here's the bad thing is they're going to hear that.
Yeah.
And not get the explanation until 2 minutes into the program.
That's okay.
This is going to be like Wideside Sports.
Yeah, I listened.
So that's going to be one of those ones of right now they're going to be listening going, oh, this is why that happened.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to run the whole intro and then dip it into the doo-doo-doos and then dip it into me messing it up.
Nice.
And that way it just messes with everybody going, did they mess this? Yeah, I mean, it's been a total mess up from the get, but
yeah,
hey, that's what we're here to do.
Yep.
Nothing but professionalism out of this place.
That is what we are here for, to make you feel better about yourself.
Well, if anything, we do that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hey, if these two guys
can have a show,
can function into microphones and get it out onto the internet.
Everybody can.
Although it hadn't been. So when I load these, obviously we don't have video to this, but when I load it onto the platforms, it goes out for all your downloads and stuff. It shoots to the YouTube, and it's basically you can watch it on YouTube. And it just has like our logo with the audio.
Yeah.
And it was also doing that to Facebook, to the Wideside Facebook page.
Yeah.
But then it was something like my Facebook, since it runs through my personal to get to the professional page or whatever. Like somebody tried to, I got an alert from Facebook. Somebody tried to hack in and get my password. So I had to change it. Well, I never changed that on my Libsyn account.
Gotcha.
So for like the last 20 episodes or whatever, none of them's been on Facebook because I never
switched them.
I never give it access after I switched the password. So that's why we are professional here.
Yeah. Yep.
If
anybody wants to be a not paid producer, come aboard.
Yeah, come on. If you think you got the
cojones
to get made fun of and not have a microphone.
Yeah, I just got to sit there and take it.
I mean, I've got more microphones, but I didn't think I'd give you one.
No.
Seems unnecessary. You run a camera, then we can add a video aspect to this thing.
Yeah,
which
really
would probably be nice, so we could clip those.
Really show off the shop here.
So I was talking to Daryl today, and that was what he said. He goes, have you ever thought about maybe some videos so you guys can clip that? And like, yeah, we have. And he was making a great suggestion for the show of maybe you should do that. Yeah, we talked about it. We're just lazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why we're as wide as we are.
Yeah.
Hefty fellas. Who doesn't want to watch two hefty fellas talk bad about sports?
Yeah.
I mean,
they weren't great at them.
Come on.
There's nothing better than that.
Ratings gold right there.
Yes, with lawn equipment and tools in the background.
Yeah. Well, we'd put something up. Put a green screen up and then make it look like we're doing outdoors.
It'd be cool. Like on Everest. Like put Everest behind us.
Better Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Just us with Mount Rushmore. Or just find like some B-roll with just random people walking by.
I don't mind Mount Rushmore if we can make our own faces on the mount.
Oh, I can do that.
Cool.
I can Photoshop that stuff.
Sweet.
I'm not great at it, so it's going to look rough.
That's all right.
But
is there
I
anything
think
we
that's
do
even
that
better.
doesn't look rough?
I don't think there's anything that we do that is good.
Yeah, okay. Then might as well do it.
I mean, go back to the intro of this show.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. I can't wait. It's the highlight. That's going to be the highlight of my night or morning whenever I put this together. Probably, maybe tomorrow morning.
Cool.
Or tonight. Could be either way.
Who knows?
That's the other thing is we are very consistent on when we put this out.
Yes. Yeah.
Most places, get it at noon at this time.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah.
No,
get it when I get
feel
it.
like it.
Okay. Well, now that's moving into. I don't think there's anything pressing that happened to me.
No, nothing really to me either. No shitting the pants stories or anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean
that's a good week.
I knock on the old wood there. I've gone a year without having an accident.
Hi, my name's Seth, and I'm a shit panner or a pant shitter.
I'm a shit panner.
I'm a shit panner.
Yeah,
and it's been 1 year since my last relapse.
Yeah. I haven't lost any of my tokens, so I'm good. It's been a year.
Yeah, I haven't.
Actually, it's been more than a year because it was around Thanksgiving. Actually, right after Thanksgiving, right in that through 4 week span between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Wasn't that the one with wasn't somebody at your house visiting?
That was a different one. that one, the one where somebody was at my house visiting, might be the worst and the funniest way that I've done it. So I was on this weird powder diet, and it was really like you just add water to it and put it in the microwave. It was,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're just doing a bunch of Coke?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it was fucking with my stomach, and I would only eat normal food for dinner. So then when I would eat normal food, but it was like vegetables, so it's automatically going to make you shit anyway. So then the powder with that, and it was just nothing but just, liquid. And I was sitting in my my recliner and got its leather, and I let it go, and I my eyes got real wide. I'm like, okay. It's like it's getting late. I wonder when my guest is going to leave. And it had been 45 minutes later, and I'm like, I can't sit in this shit anymore. I got to do something. So I stand up, and of course, when I stand up, everybody looks at me, and I'm like, fuck. So I pretend to moonwalk. And I'm like, hey, and I turn around, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just got to go to the bathroom. And,
just trying to entertain.
Yeah. So I didn't shut the door all the way because I knew as soon as I clean myself up, I'm going to have to run out immediately and throw these away. So I didn't shut. That way, if they heard the door open again, they wouldn't be like, oh, did you shoot your pants? I didn't even have to go through that. But I did come out in different shorts. And they're like, and my wife goes, why did you put different shorts on? And I look at her real fast. I'm like, the other ones didn't have pockets, and I was tired of holding my phone. And she goes, she's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah.
Because they're like an end table.
No other questions were asked after that. 10, 15 minutes later, my buddy leaves, and I turn around, and my wife goes, shit your pants, didn't you? I was like, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure she was tipped off at the moonwalk.
The moonwalk gave it away.
I've known you for a while, and I've never seen you even try to make somebody laugh with a moonwalk.
It was I did the Michael Jackson spin too. It was like, hey, and then I did the moonwalk. Yeah, but yeah, that's behind me now, and I'm a year clean, and I hope to have a good 2022.
That's your. Hey, I'm not going to try to lose weight or anything like that. I'm just going to try to not shit my pants.
I'm honestly surprised I haven't done it at school yet. Just because the way that I like to, gamble. That's the issue.
You do like to do that. I can wait.
I can wait. And then it's like, no, you can't.
Now it's an emergency.
Yeah. And it's, the bad part is, like, I can say I can wait, and then it's an emergency in like 3 minutes. Like, that's, I don't know why I try to, but I do.
Yeah.
Not anymore, though. It's a new year, new me.
I have the same one that I always have, is to make it through a year without urinating on a homeless guy.
Good thing we don't have very many of them here.
I wish I could say that I made it through every year, but it's been a while, so.
I don't. You pissed at a homeless guy?
Yeah.
On purpose?
No.
Okay. Man, what an asshole.
It was in Cincinnati.
Does that make it better?
Well, it was one of those things after me and my buddy was at a Reds game, and we're driving through, kind of downtown, stopped to get some adult beverages, and he's getting those. And I'm at one of those ones where you're going to piss your pants.
Yeah. So
I asked the people inside, hey, is the bathroom? They're like, yeah, outside, round the right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's just a bunch of pine trees over there.
Oh, nice.
So it was one of those ones of, get the hell out of here and piss outside.
Yeah.
So I did, next to a tree.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's where the guy's house was.
Oh, man.
He was not happy.
Yeah.
He was, I didn't see him under there, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like, you motherfucker. Hey, man, I got you. That's on me, Bell.
Sorry, man.
That's on me.
Why don't you wear a bell next time? Let me know you're there.
Maybe this is obviously a designated urination area. Maybe pick your location. Maybe that's the problem. You don't have a house in the first place.
Yeah.
Because your choice making is bad.
You got to know that's where the people pee in that bar, too. Like, it can't be his first time living there. Like, he didn't just move in.
You don't know that. I mean, maybe.
I don't.
Maybe.
Just a drifter.
In for the season,
Yeah.
Down by the river.
Yeah.
This is a nice location. Pine trees here.
Good setup.
You are not correct.
Yeah. Nope.
So, if I can make it through another year without urinating on somebody that is house deprived,
yeah,
I would feel pretty good about it.
I hope.
Be about 10 years straight.
Good luck.
Maybe 12.
Good luck.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Thank you. Good luck to you also.
Thank you. I'm going to try my best. It's a long year ahead.
All you can ask is that you try.
Mm.
There's a lot of people that are giving up on theirs already after 3 days in the weight room.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, nope, that's too hard.
I always love that, too, of like hey, we're going to get in shape this year. And so they, gym membership surge.
Mm-hmm.
For the first week, everybody's in there working out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, and this is coming from a fat guy.
Yeah.
If you don't have any plans on changing your diet, you're just wasting your time at the gym. Like, lifting does nothing for you if you just shovel shit in, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go lift all this weight, but I'm going to still eat like I always have. Yeah. Oh, good luck. You're going to get fatter because you're putting on...
I know people that are like runners.
Yeah.
That run, like marathon runners and do good and finish them that are severely overweight.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're not going to run your way into shape, obviously. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Well, I got a carb load of like, well, you can't eat a whole pizza every day to run a race next week. That's not how it works.
Nope, not at all.
And that's the other one with runners. They're the worst.
They are.
But the fact that they're just okay with shit in their pants.
Yeah.
In a race. Because it's amazing. Like that one guy in the Olympics that twice shit his pants in the speed walking event.
Ooh, oh, could you imagine that?
It's on video. You can watch it happen.
I don't want to because it's just
like he's walking, and then he's in the lead, and
that's
like he stops off at a porta john and then comes back out, and he was walking, and like he's I think the way it is how the speed walk thing is like both because like when you run in between strides, neither of your feet are on the ground.
Yeah.
So like the speed walk and why they have that weird little. Because one foot has to be on the ground at all times or you're disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy's got that little churn going and getting it. and then he just stops.
Oh, and it happened
For, I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever, and then starts going again. And that's the second time he lost a gold medal because he shit his pants.
The guy has problems. Number one, if anybody has ever done any kind of activity, instantly I have to poop. Like, I mean, within 15 minutes of working out, I have to go. And I could have went 20 minutes ago. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the churn. I don't know if it's just the movement of your body, but makes me go instantly.
I had a buddy of mine when I moved away at that golf course. He was about half and half. No, he would walk 85% of the time. He'd ride a cart and then he'd walk sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he walked, he'd come in at the turn with one sock.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He goes, every time I get to number 2, which is about as far away from the clubhouse as you could get.
Yeah.
And it's also like another hole or so away from the Porta-John, but there's a woods right behind. Like,
yeah.
It's like every time I get to 2, it just hits me. And
poor bastard.
Yeah. Maybe if this happens every time, maybe just carry some paper with you instead of losing a sock every time that you play.
Because you don't just lose one sock. I mean,
they're kind of done.
Yeah, it's kind of both, you know? I mean,
one, who can just finish with one?
I don't know. Oh, that's a good point.
Especially if you're having that. Now, I mean, granted, you know, you can have a clean one come out of there, but in that situation, it's usually it's going to be messy. Of like just one anklet sock is going to be good.
Not for me.
I don't find that to be the truth.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, you're going to wipe it as many times until you decide to give up on it.
Yeah.
That's enough. We'll come back to this later.
I'm going to set that on fire now.
All right. Well, if we spend enough time talking about that.
I think so. We can go into the show now.
Yeah, go into the show.
All righty. College football semifinals. I think we both had predicted the winners, not necessarily the scores.
No, I think I said Michigan would win.
Oh, you did?
I think that's what I said.
You did because I said Georgia would win.
I took the points.
Yes, you took the points.
Big mistake there. There's no reason to think that the 7.5 to 8 was a number, but I mean, I did say something about either like Michigan would win close or they'd get boat raced.
Yeah, and they got boat raced.
So I hedged.
Yeah,
but I thought, you know, if anything, it'd probably be Georgia was going to win, but I thought Michigan would cover. I thought because my thoughts, we both thought it'd be around 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Georgia was going to put up that many points. And kudos to Cincinnati. I mean, fuck, they did everything they could. They really did.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
okay.
They didn't go for it. On offense.
No.
It was pretty bland.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of the fact that Ritter didn't even really rush the ball till the second half of like, hey, man, that's every highlight from Cincinnati this year was him running a 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that he wasn't even trying.
Yeah. I mean, the score was way closer than I ever thought it would be possible. I don't know. Kudos to them. I mean, thank you, college football, for letting in a team in, I guess. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about really that game. You kind of thought was going to happen. I mean, what happened was going to happen.
Yeah.
There was no chance they were beating them. They just played better than I thought they were going to.
I can't remember. I don't know if I said it on this show or if I said it out at the course that day of the, you know, like on the FanDuel thing of, because it was 13.5 of, I think I would have bought the alternate spread to 20 to try to make some money on that, because there wasn't any.
No. But the fact though that Michigan got beat as bad as they did
wasn't competitive.
No,
from the get-go.
I mean, I know social media, and especially Ohio State social media, is going to pick out the bad clips and put them on there. But oh my gosh, the dominance that Michigan showed against Ohio State and against Iowa was non-existent against Georgia.
Yeah,
non-existent. I mean, just the physicality. They don't have to. You're not going to have a 200-yard rusher against Georgia. You're not. But the physicality was so much different. I mean, they played on their heels. I'm like, you guys were voted the best offensive line in the country.
Yeah.
And you came out and you played like a bunch of sissies.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked by that. Just they overpowered them.
they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They tried to do a little wrinkle here and there and stuff like that, but you see none of a game plan that you saw against, like they shot their load against Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just kind of it. The one thing that bothers me is, they bring that second running quarterback in from time to time.
Yeah.
The first thing that kid should have ever done was throw a pass in that game.
Yeah.
Because they knew he's in to run the ball.
Uh-huh.
And he never hands it off in that zone read. He's going to run it.
He's going to run it. That's what he's there for.
Yeah. So if we're just going to tackle him then.
Mm-hmm.
But if you fake the zone read and throw something, maybe something,
something. I mean, just different things. I mean, they scout too. I mean, everybody kind of knows what he comes in the game for. Right?
Well, that was the one of, you just watch Georgia get the ball and just methodically walk it right down the field and score. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had no answer.
That's it.
Yeah. Had no answer.
A couple things before we get to the national championship game. I'd had that down of, like, is that the max of what Jim Harbaugh can do at Michigan?
Yes, it is. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he's not getting to a national championship with Michigan. The only way possible is if they would expand the playoffs and they would get a good draw.
Yeah.
That would be because they can beat some of the other teams, and then, you know what I mean? Obviously, they've shown they can beat Ohio State.
Right.
And then if they could somehow flip their way, seed themselves way into the national championship game, that's the only thing that I can think of. But to your very first game have to play in Alabama or a Georgia every time, I don't think that's happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or a year where only one SEC school gets in, maybe. Yeah. Other than that, I think you did see a ceiling. I mean,
basically, like if you've seen them against like a Clemson or an Oklahoma when they would get in.
I could see them beating Oklahoma if they would happen to get in another year. Or if somehow Notre Dame kind of got in there a little bit, I could see them beating that team.
And the reason I'd pose that question was because it seems immediately now that an article was written, and now it just seems like everybody's agreed that Jim Harbaugh's leaving for the NFL.
Yeah.
And being on that thought of, hey, you just got boat raced by Georgia. It's just you beat Ohio State. Mm-hmm. You lost in the playoff. This is as high as it's going to get for you. Your defensive lineman was a runner-up in the Heisman.
Yeah.
Now's the time to get out.
If you're going back to the NFL, I don't see a better time to do it.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously going to extend you. You've had the best season that you ever had. You finally beat Ohio State. They're going to give you your extension.
Yeah.
So now you have the choice. So I want to stay at Michigan and possibly never do what I just did again, or go to the NFL, try it out for a couple years, then probably go back to Michigan. Or another college team. I mean, I see him going towards the NFL because if it hasn't been that long ago to where the guy had success in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now he
ran himself out.
He ran himself out because of his frustrations or whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
but the guy went
mad at him, but he gimmicked his way to a Super Bowl because running quarterbacks wasn't a thing. Mm-hmm. And that's, with Kaepernick and stuff, that's how they got there. And I mean, damn close to winning the,
and I'll go off that. I mean, he gimmicked his way to a Super Bowl, but 2 years before that, he went 2 years straight to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 years in a row. There's not a whole other coaches that do that. You know what I mean? And then he ran his course and made the wrong.
Get tired of him. I mean, because he's an odd guy.
He is.
I mean,
he is,
and he's not like his brother's
cool guy
and likable, and Jim's kind of odd and not likable.
I don't see now the hot team is the Raiders.
Bears.
That's Bears, Raiders.
He ain't going to the Raiders. That's a bad fit from the get-go.
That's what I was just going to say. I can't see it lasting a year with Oakland. Las Vegas.
Because Raiders are, hey, we play hard defense and we sling the ball. And that is not Jim Harbaugh. That's not what the Raiders are. That's not what the Raiders have ever been.
No.
And people never think about that when they hire head coaches in the NFL of, you got to hire a head coach that fits into your structure of what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like Raiders are, hey, we get fast, athletic guys and we go.
Yeah.
We're not a smash mouth team.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bring a smash mouth guy. Chicago's the one thing of they still haven't fired their coach yet, but
yeah.
you know,
I mean,
they keep talking Chicago.
I don't see.
Which I'm not saying that wouldn't work.
I don't see that working any better either because you don't have now. If he gets the job, he does something that no new coach does, and that is instantly build your trenches. You haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't seen when he got the job in San Francisco. He just built up his trenches. I mean, he drafted offensive linemen like his first 2 years, first-round picks. And then free agency hit some defensive linemen, and he had a decent team to start with. I mean, there was pieces there.
Yeah. Well, and he makes the Chicago job makes sense because you got Justin Fields, this new kid that, you know, well, all of their quarterbacks got murdered this year in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to protect your quarterback like that of, hey, they're going to run him a lot more and probably end his career early. Yeah. But you're going to put some pieces to protect him.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get a lot of Ohio State guys who, he can't go there because Justin Fields wouldn't play for him. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's the NFL.
It's the NFL.
This isn't college anymore. These are professionals. But I just thought that was funny that it was like instantly he's out of there.
It's a struggle for me to have him accept a job where there's so many questions.
Yeah.
The Raiders, we don't know if Derek Carr's coming back. We don't know if they're going to keep him.
Well, I mean, what if they win that game
and they go to the
playoffs and you're going to let
that guy go?
Italian Rich not be the coach?
I mean,
it sounds like that's the decision that no matter he makes the playoffs or not, he's not going to be here.
Seems like he's not the head coach. He may be there as his normal special teams role. I don't know why they're not going to keep him.
For him, he's got to. If they don't hire him for the head coach, he's got to leave, and he'll get another job. People like him.
Yeah, I mean that's why he was the associate head coach. And he knows, like the Raiders. We don't know what the hell they are.
Yeah,
we don't know who they're keeping. We don't know who they're bringing back. The Bears, they haven't used Allen Robinson all year. I mean, they haven't. Why not?
He's making $18 million on a franchise tag, and you don't have anybody to throw him the ball.
And I get that. And so there's so many questions there because we don't know if Justin Fields is a player.
No,
we don't know.
He has flashes.
Yes, but
everybody does.
He has flashes when it's the correct scheme for him. Drop back passes, that's not him.
No,
because he doesn't have anybody to protect him.
Well, you don't have anybody to throw to. You've got a number one receiver, but that's all you have.
Yeah,
and it's pretty easy if you got one receiver in the NFL, they can take that guy away, and that ain't hard.
David Montgomery's a pretty decent back to have there, but the question would be to me is your offensive line, and then who are you re-signing on that defense? Because the defense still does have pieces there. I just don't know whose contracts are up. I mean, Khalil Mack, Khalil Mack, talking the program.
He get his knee redone?
Yeah. Khalil Mack, I mean, he's
gone.
Is he? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is he done? There's guys on the defensive line. Are they done? I mean, there's so many questions with those two franchises going into the season. Next season, I can't see him wanting those two jobs. I see him, no, I don't want those two. I'm going to go back to Michigan because I know what's coming.
The one that I would want him, and I don't think he's leaving. I think he's staying at Michigan. The one that I would want him to go to, and they're not going to do it, but the Giants need to fire everybody. Imagine him in New York. How awesome that would be. Even if it only lasted a year, it would be awesome.
Yeah. Did you? I know this is also. Did you see the lawsuit?
Which one?
The New York lawsuit to the two teams. They say they need to rename because they don't play in New York. They either need to come play in New York.
They play in New Jersey.
Yeah, they need to come play in New York or rename their two teams to the New Jersey teams.
How awesome would that be if they want? They won't.
No,
but
they want it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't play in New York. You're a New Jersey team.
And they
which technically, that's where the games are.
The quote from the New York, whether it was the lawyer, whoever put this out, says you don't play in New York. You play in the trash soil that is New Jersey. Like fucking dumped it on them.
Awesome.
I'm like, yes, that hatred is still there.
Well, it was even when they had that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they kept claiming New York. It's like, well, the stadium's in New Jersey.
Yeah,
and then they started going New York, New Jersey. Of like,
put a big lawsuit on.
I mean,
them.
that'd be something.
That'd be crazy if they won it. Build a stadium in fucking New York somewhere. or just
they just built that stadium.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, that'd be funny if it was the New Jersey Giants.
New Jersey Jets.
Yeah. Nobody'd notice.
No. Either way, there's some new teams.
Everybody makes fun of the Jets, but perennially, the Giants have been I think the worst of the two franchises over the last 8 years or something.
Yeah. One of my favorite stats that I read today was the Giants have not had a winning record at any point in time during the season the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So their
winning percentage is like 23%.
Yeah. They haven't had, at any point in time during the season, they haven't had a winning record.
Now, the Jets are horrible. They beat the Bengals.
Yep.
They took the Bucks to the brink.
To the wire.
I mean,
well, you don't have...
we got way off topic. We're in the NFL, and we haven't even finished up in college
yet. We'll go back to college now. We'll swing back around. But I'm with you. I don't see Harbaugh leaving. I don't think there's a job. Now, we don't know come Monday when everybody gets fired.
Yeah, if they, and that would be weird, if they shit-can Pete Carroll and kept Russell Wilson and hired Jim Harbaugh, that'd be he'd probably go for that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that Russell Wilson would go for that.
No, I don't think he's there anyway.
No, I don't either. I think they get him in New York and then hire Jim. But I seen that and I'm like, yeah, maybe he's capped out.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, he's going to. The only thing that he can do is if he's saying he's not capped. If somebody wants to argue us and say that I don't think he's capped out, as they beat Ohio State again next year.
Yeah,
that would be him not capped out because that's the game. I mean, that's college. That's college.
You got to do it every year.
Time. Yeah, it's not just once every 10 years. You got to do it consistently.
When that, I guess we'll talk the Ohio State before we go into our picks for the national championship game. My thoughts on the game is, oh my God, I can't wait till we get a new defensive coordinator. Because the first quarter, Ohio State did not seem to care about playing in that game.
Not even a little bit.
Then I think once they got smacked around a little bit, it kind of, now we need to go.
Yeah.
But their defense is terrible. It has been all year. That's really nothing to talk about.
I was not shocked.
No.
That, like, the first, like, I'm watching with some friends and my wife. She obviously, I've talked about her being a Buckeye hater on here. She's like, oh, the Buckeyes are in trouble. I'm like, well, they have been all year. Their defense is garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. The offense is absolutely so electrifying to watch when they're passing the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, seriously.
I had this talk because I was down at my brother's house watching the game, and I believe I said, I bet Seth is losing his mind.
Yeah.
Because the fifth time that he went under center, and we were like, well, they're going to run it because they only run out of this formation, and they never gain any yards out of it. They run it over the guard, left or right.
Yep.
And that's the only thing they do out of that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you're not.
I mean, it is.
You're not. Like you've said many times, those guys are tackles. They have no drive. They have none of that guard strength. I mean, everybody wants to argue with me. It's a fucking different position. It's a different body type that is in that spot.
Well, you don't see a lot of 6'7" guards in the NFL because they don't exist. They're usually around the 6'3", 6'4".
The best guard in the NFL is 6'4".
Because they're an underneath your shoulder pads leverage
and they
guy.
Move you. Those tackles don't move you.
No, tackles are designed to pass protect.
Yes.
Because that's their function.
And to hook or get out. I mean, kick out, hook. I mean, you have 3 blocks as a tackle.
Yeah.
And they keep doing that shit, and it pisses me off.
Well, we want our best players out there. Yeah, but they're not the best players at that position.
No.
Are they the best tackles? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all 5 stars.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can play guard.
Yes. I mean, there is highlights of and I know it's high school football, of the Paris Jackson kid just demoralizing people at tackle.
Yeah.
Don't put him a guard.
He's not a guard.
He's 6'8". There's no way he can get underneath anybody's pads to drive anybody out.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're on the goal line, you kind of need your guards and center to be able to get underneath the defensive line.
Just move them a hair.
Just get them on the ground.
Yeah, but you're so goddamn tall, you're not getting. They have your legs. You're done. Yeah, but when they're passing the ball, they're electrifying. One of my favorite things that's happened since that game, and we'll talk about it, is they fired Stud, the offensive line coach, today.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's been a long time coming from my sources. Like the people that I know were surprised it didn't happen coming into this year.
Sorry, I was mid something.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The fact that he took time off during the season for back surgery is weird.
Yeah.
To me. Like, why didn't you have that take? I mean,
well, he was going to get fired.
Yeah.
I
mean, understand.
That's why. I mean,
it's like, hey, in the middle of the season, you took time off to have back surgery?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, him being. And now I hope, obviously, there's a plan. And we talked about before, Day has enough balls to get rid of people now. He's shown that he wants change. Something's got to change. The running game was terrible. Partially on you, partially on the offensive line coach for not getting it done. But
yeah, they're not performing up to how they're not or being coached up or whatever to perform the way they want. But that's also on Day. Like, your blocking scheme,
is bad.
It's terrible. That zone blocking is from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, when you need to run the ball,
you can't.
Zone blocking does not work.
No. And your zone blocking is so old. There's so many new styles of zone blocking that yours is so old. You're only going after the front four in your zone scheme.
Yeah.
So what does that leave? All these giant ass gaps for these linebackers to run through. And then when you don't move the defensive lineman, nothing happens.
And all it takes, one guy.
Yeah.
If one guy shoots a gap,
done.
You lose 3 yards.
Yep. But I was glad to see that there's some change being made on the staff.
Yeah.
We obviously know after the Rose Bowl, the one guy's leaving for Memphis.
Yeah, which he was.
You figured that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, he was either getting fired or find a new job. He found a new job first.
Well, he probably wasn't going to get fired. He's just going to go back to his old job.
Yeah. But there's some pride with some of those guys. I'm a defensive coordinator. You hired me to do this. I wasn't successful. I'll go get better somewhere else at a lower program and then maybe build my way back up.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. That, like with that guy, he wasn't the defense coordinator. They just midway through had him start calling the plays. I don't know what happened with Coombs.
He's just
did they fire him or did they just move him to deep backs?
Yeah, just the backs. He's just a position coach.
Must be okay with that. Of like, I'm going to recruit and just keep putting out first round draft picks.
If now from my inside sources, there's more coming.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He wouldn't tell me who. But
would he tell you what side of the ball?
He didn't because I was guessing and he wouldn't tell me
because he knew we'd release it first.
Well, no, I mean he usually does. So it must be somebody big. Or something that are shocking, because he usually gives me a hint of.
Well, my guess would be it's probably an offensive coordinator of which you don't know because he calls the plays.
Not him. He told me it wasn't him. Told me it was not Kevin Wilson.
Which I can't believe he's still there. I mean, it must be easy to make a couple $1 million a year to do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't call the plays.
From him, he does more than what we all think he does. And I didn't go into specifics.
I assume he does something. He coaches. Yeah. He coaches some group, whether
tight ends.
Tight ends,
yes,
yeah.
But on game days,
so he coaches a position that they have good ones, but they choose not to use.
Yeah, he does something on game days and throughout the week that I didn't go into specifics because I didn't care. I just wanted to know. I was like, and they love him apparently. I mean, he's not going, but yeah, he would not tell me who. He usually does, so I'm assuming it's somebody you don't expect. I don't know. I mean, was
a defensive line coach finally retiring? He's been threatening.
He might. For the
last couple years of I'm about to retire.
So I met Larry Johnson a couple years ago. He's probably since that time till now, just seeing him on TV, he's probably dropped like 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks a lot better than. I mean, he was barely walking at one of the coaches' clinics that I went to, like just that huge, and obviously you could tell that he had played because his fucking knees are done. I mean.
Well, I mean, that's the one because it's always like, is he going to retire this year? But if somebody else if it's a big name, we just named all of them because there aren't any other ones.
I don't see him being fired
unless it's that linebacker coach.
That would be the only other one that I can think of.
Which I heard he's a great recruiter. So I mean,
recruit better ones.
Yeah, I guess.
The only thing with the Johnson one, his recruiting is so heavily like. They lean on him because he recruits his position. He recruits a lot of other guys too that you don't really know about. And I can't see him getting rid of him because he's almost like a pipeline.
That'd be the running backs coach.
Yeah.
He was kind of a big hire.
Mm-hmm. He was one kept from Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah, Urban, I think, originally
Yeah,
hired
'cause they
him.
took him from Notre Dame.
Yeah, because he was the one who recruited Zeke.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's one of like, all right, well, how big a name can it be?
And
are you going to fire the defensive backs coach, which would make sense because if Kerry Combs is coming back to defensive backs, you don't need the guy that you were paying. So,
the only thing,
but then again, does the defensive coordinator has to have say of who, if he's bringing people with him, they got to fire the people to replace. So
yeah, and he did say they're just trying. He wouldn't tell me because it hasn't been confirmed through the.
Yeah, they haven't sourced it.
Yeah. They haven't sourced it. It's just rumor or whatever. So I think that's probably possibly that. Why he didn't say anything either. But yeah, some changes are coming, and I'm happy with him. I mean,
well, they're addressing all the problems that they had,
mm-hmm. And he should. That's what your job is. I mean, it's
and that's a Larry Johnson thing too. Of like, hey man, your defensive line has sucked the last. Like you get zero pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, You haven't said, not you specifically, but anybody from the university hasn't said what Jim Knowles coaches. So that could go into an aspect of who gets fired too. Is everybody just assumes all your defensive coordinators coaching linebackers? That's not always true. So
mostly never true.
Yeah, I mean,
usually they're line coaches or defensive back
coaches. I mean, a lot of them are linebackers, but you don't know what he coaches his position group.
Right.
Nobody's really released that. I'm not going to go Google what he did at Oklahoma State because I don't really care.
No.
But that could also maybe weigh into who goes or who leaves, who stays.
Yeah, I mean, that's... And I did see, it was a great, T.J. Lang, who he played for the Packers for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when it came out that... their wide receiver coach, I just blanked on his name.
The Packers?
No, for Ohio State.
Oh, Hartline?
Hartline.
Yeah.
Won wide receivers coach of the year.
Yeah.
And he had the greatest response. It just said, duh.
Yeah. He won.
Hey, you got 2 first rounders, and then your guy just set a record for all bowl game history. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, we can get into that. And you know what? They have said that, but you don't, when you hear Olave and Wilson talk about, well, he's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just think of, they're older guys. They're trying to put over this guy, and then they don't play, and it's like, oh my God, he is.
He is. Yeah.
He's better than both of you.
I don't see, now, Olave might. Garrett Wilson doesn't outrun everybody on the one little curl play.
No.
Olave might.
Olave is the fast guy on the team.
Mm-hmm. He might outrun them, but Garrett Wilson's not outrunning them.
No. Garrett Wilson...
He'll jump over them.
He went outside, but Garrett Wilson is in the NFL, because
he'll probably go back and forth.
There are no really outside. I mean,
you kind of do all of it.
Devontae comes in and plays a slot, but he's more of that slot in and out of break. He's the route runner. Just put it somewhere and I'll go get. Honestly, it's going to be an odd comparison, mainly because he's one of the best that's ever done it. But like more of an Antonio Brown
that's what you mean.
Type, like, hey, we'll move you inside, we'll move you outside, because we just believe you're going to get open.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And we'll talk about that later, too. But if anybody who says that Antonio Brown's not one of the best to ever do it, you're lying to yourself. You may not like the guy, but you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the one that, Njigba doing what he did was awesome.
Fantastic.
But the one that was best for me, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Some of the catches.
Because I think you started to see of like,
yeah.
Because he's also like 6'4".
Yeah. And that guy's a true freshman.
Yeah.
He
is the lowest rated receiver they have.
Yeah. He made some catches. I don't think people understand how fucking hard some of the catches he made. Over your opposite shoulder on the, I don't know if it wasn't the winning touchdown. I think it was the one before that. The opposite shoulder where you have to look behind you.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
Well, the one I was talking about today when I was out, schmoozing with some fans.
Yeah. Nice.
But it was the fade route, that one that Stroud just missed through because it hit him in the chest. He's tall. He's got to go up and catch that. Yeah. But you hit him in the chest because he shook that guy at the line so bad that it didn't matter where he threw it because when a 6'4" guy catches one in his chest,
he's wide open.
On a fade.
He's wide open.
That's a mistake by the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, but he just shook the guy of like, but then watching it through the game of like, well, of course he is.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Caught a whole bunch from Peyton Manning. I'm sure he knows how to run routes.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fucking awesome.
I mean.
Yeah. It's very exciting to see what, and then Stroud, I mean, fucking, he had a fantastic game too. I mean, set records himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, unless you fix your running game, they're good. You're not going back to the playoffs unless you fix your running game.
Well, here, and that's the other thing to think about is they might come next. They might have the best running back in the country.
Yeah, yeah, and he's not. He's utilized for screens and swing passes.
Yeah,
because they can't run the ball.
Which that's my. I'd like to see them be able to do that because I just want to know what Ryan Day is as a. If he's going to continue to be the play caller, which I'm not a fan of. I've been on the record for that for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he is a pass-happy guy.
He is.
Of like, well, let's see,
And to defend him, it's hard not to be.
I understand.
But I'm with you.
But there's parts of the game hey, we need to we don't need anything fancy.
Yep.
We just need to line up and just run it right down, because that's demoralizing.
If you...
you take the Ohio State-Michigan game.
Yeah, I was just gonna...
Ohio State was demoralized the way Michigan ran that ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you flip the script on that game, and when you got it within the one score or the 3 points, if you can run the ball and keep it out of, because your defense wasn't making any adjustments, you weren't stopping them.
No.
But if you can keep it out of their hands just a little bit longer, it's not a blowout.
Yeah,
it's not a blowout. I mean, it's not a 3-score game.
Well, and that's one of those things too. Of it's nice to have a quick strike offense, but when your defense sucks,
yeah.
Hey, maybe let them rest a little bit on the sideline instead of them having to come out every 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so that's interesting. And I'm still, I know they set records, but I still bang that drum that Ohio State's offense isn't as good as everybody makes it out to be.
Yeah.
They played 3 teams this year that had an okay defense, and their offense looked like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do with that what you want.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Iowa, Nebraska, I even forgot the Nebraska game. Nebraska made their offense look terrible.
And again, with you can say what you want. Utah cannot compete with the athletes that Ohio State has.
No.
So when you give them a lot of one-on-one coverage, that's what you're going to get. That's the result with better athletes.
Yeah.
Better football players.
Yeah.
And then again, they were scoring at will because the defense was so bad. That's the only reason that it was any kind of close. And the fact that their defense was so bad, it made Ohio State have to pass, which again, it's kind of what Michigan did to Ohio State. Your defense has to go back out there because you're scoring fast on a bad defense.
Yeah.
Your defense isn't any good either.
Right.
Because you're playing a lot of single fucking coverage.
Yeah.
So I mean, they kind of hurt themselves by not keeping the ball longer.
Right.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah. That's. And let's see. We talked about everything except my biggest. I was so mad when they called that timeout with 12 seconds left.
You don't understand.
That is the worst decision I have ever fucking seen.
You don't understand how much I yelled at the TV. I was putting away fucking dishes thinking, oh, okay, they'll just wait. I got up.
Yeah.
Putting away dirty dishes, and I turn around and they're like, oh, he called a timeout. I'm like, oh, okay, I figured. The fuck is there 12 seconds left on there for? What the what?
I don't.
What are you doing?
The old school of because third down or second down or whatever it was. If you bobble the snap, you can just down it and kick it again. But that's not the way the world works anymore.
No.
That's like 1985.
Yeah.
You call timeout with 4 seconds left because that guarantees, because I think that's in the.
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? Well, 3. It's 4 in the NFL.
Yeah, it's 3. I think 3 in college.
3 in college. That they guarantee it that there's no fuckery with the clock. That the game is over at 3 seconds.
Yep.
You call it there, and if you bobble it, then you go to overtime.
Exactly.
But this is the last play, and then you make that greatest move by a kicker in Ohio State history. That
the
was
wave.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But thinking that of you have a kicker that you've obviously proven doesn't have the leg to kick a touchback.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't just kick it out of bounds. Make them throw a 70-yard, make them try to get 40 yards in 12 seconds. Or, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And then try to kick a field goal at that. But then you full out kick one to a guy that's already housed one.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I almost wished Utah would have ran it back.
Yeah. Just you fucking moron.
You need to learn. There's levels to coaching, but the most basic thing is clock management.
Yeah.
And you don't have it.
No.
And you see that in the NFL with Dallas. Mike McCarthy can't manage the clock. Oh,
my God.
And it costs them games.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
that's just the 12 seconds.
I forgot about that, but I was so fired up. And again, my wife, a Buckeye hater, she kept saying, like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm like, do you not understand what's wrong with that?
You should have had no plays left.
There should have been they should not. You don't even have to kick the ball off. We either win it here or we
go to overtime.
Yep.
That's it.
Those are your two options.
Because the chances you bobbling that are pretty slim.
Yeah, it's a routine
biggest chance is missing the kick.
Yep.
Which if you miss the kick, now you give them a chance. I mean, it's like we either win on this play or we're in overtime.
Yep.
That's the options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that pissed
me off. That pissed me off. Whew. National champ picks.
I see that Alabama's an underdog again.
Yeah. Good job. Good job, Vegas.
I've got Bama by 2 touchdowns.
I was going to say Bama by at least 10.
I almost said 20, but
yeah. I saw the I would say Bama by at
least touchdowns.
Bama by at least 10.
Yeah.
At least double digits.
I don't think there's anything to.
Yeah. The only thing Georgia has going for him is that it is extremely fucking hard to beat the team twice.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And you've seen them once.
But there is a team that does it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's Alabama.
It's Alabama, yes. I don't see anybody stopping them. It's almost like they were just fucking with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like they were just messing with us all season. Like, oh, this is we're not good, or this and that. And then it's like, oh no, we're still the best.
Well, they had the SEC. The best thing for the SEC is for Georgia to win this game.
Yeah.
Because that just lifts,
just lifts everything else up.
Because your east side of the SEC is garbage. You only have Georgia. They're the only team that's ever existed on that side. And the SEC had their chance to keep Alabama out of it. And if Alabama's not in the playoff, Georgia wins. There's not a question to anybody that Georgia wins.
Yeah.
But, if Auburn gets that done, hey, all of a sudden you don't see.
Well, if Georgia get it done in the championship,
I understand
you know
that.
What I mean?
But
you had 2 chances.
Alabama could have been knocked off 2 more times in the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. And then,
I hate Georgia.
Yeah, I know you do. Put this in perspective. Everybody going into this year, even the people who love Alabama, this was supposed to be their fucking down year.
Yeah.
And they're in the national championship game.
Well, that's part of my point of if you're going to knock them off, you for sure do it in the regular season.
Yeah,
because when you get into this time of year, this is where Nick Saban owns college football.
Yeah, I have this. I mean, he so good he does the best job of any coach staying calm and getting so fucking pissed off at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does. He's perfect at it. He gives you just enough assery to make you get your head out of your ass, but then again, stays so calm if something goes wrong to give you that confidence. Okay, we'll go get him again next. I mean, the combination that he gives at both of those, because you see it during the game. I mean, he goes fucking nuts on the sidelines, and then 2 minutes later, cool as a cucumber. He doesn't let that shit. I don't know. He's just really fucking good at it, and that's why that's one of the things makes him so great. Any other coach who is upset lets it hang.
Yeah.
They don't just throw. I mean, I don't know. I go back to where 2 years ago, or it's not 2 years ago. It's been a long time ago, where they played Georgia the first time.
Yeah.
The play before they throw the game-winning touchdown, he is on the middle of the field ripping Tua a fucking new one.
Yeah.
Throws the fucking headset, and then all of a sudden, they just won. I mean, it was just enough to get Tua's head out of his ass, and it's the same fucking play.
Yep.
It was the same fucking play. hit this guy deep, and you're going to win. It was just that's why he's so great.
And it amazes me that they're in our lifetime. You're shorter than mine.
Yeah.
There's been two dominant coaches, Nick Saban, and then the NFL, it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And they both, it's both that process thing of do your job. And that's their whole philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
You do your job. Hey, defensive lineman, don't worry about the linebacker. You do your job, and he'll do his job, and it'll mesh.
Yep.
That nobody else can get that done.
Yep.
It's just weird. It's such a simple, like that was a John Madden thing. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
John Madden, legend.
Yeah.
But that was his thing of, we don't have, like all these guys that come in, because for alpha males, which is what a football team is for the most part, rules, like just too many rules.
Yeah.
Like John Madden had 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, be on time and don't get in trouble. That's it.
That's it.
That's my only rules. Be on time and don't get in trouble. And that's kind of,
it's the same.
Belichick maybe adds another one of be on time, do your job, don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you see the other ones like the Urban Meyer debacle. They try to list all these. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't. Hey, man, people aren't down for that shit. They're professionals.
They're professionals. And these kids that are at your D1 university aren't there to fuck around.
No, they're there to get to the NFL. That's the whole point, especially at your big-time program. Everybody on, all 80-some people on Alabama's roster has aspiration to go to the NFL, as every college does.
So you don't need to treat those kids like kids. Treat them like men. Give them, and then when they screw up, you punish them, because that's how the world works.
That's for the world.
That's the world, man. But him being the way he is, and there's almost, I feel like Belichick is a little bit more personable, just because he's in the NFL.
Well, you can see that after they hang 50 last week,
and him and Mac Jones
are goofing around on the sideline.
Yeah,
like nobody thinks of that Bill Belichick is that way, but he is that way. You just, because he mumbles to the media, you just think, oh, this guy's an asshole. And a lot of that's just a narrative that they write about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he's on that top 100 show for the NFL, he was awesome.
Oh, he was great.
He loves football.
Yeah, and he'll talk about it.
And that's his only thing of, I love football.
Yep. Yeah.
Where were we at with that?
Picks. I mean, we both picked Alabama. I mean, I
don't see there's any way that Georgia, could be totally wrong, but there is zero chance that Georgia wins this game.
I think Georgia strikes fast and early, maybe get up a score or 10, and then Alabama kind of just rides the wave out.
I think it goes almost close to the way it did last time.
Yeah.
That Alabama just cruises to.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I don't fucking know.
It's just something about, hey, that just happens to be a guy who Saban's got his number.
Yeah.
And he's the best at it.
Yeah.
So, boy, we spent almost an hour talking about college football and stuff. We should probably get to some men's league stuff, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit that's happened. We'll talk a little local first.
Okay. Your Cincinnati Bengals? Is that what you want to talk about?
No, actually, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about the Baker Mayfield debacle. That's still kind of ongoing.
On new, yeah.
Because I watched when the Manning cast is available. That's what I watch. Because it's awesome. I want to hear those guys. Not so the guests. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to listen to 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, because anybody who says Eli Manning's not a Hall of Fame quarterback is an idiot.
Okay.
He is.
No, probably.
I want to listen to them talk about how they see the game of calling it out, of like, they probably could have done this and this, but when Baker Mayfield is throwing it all over and Peyton Manning's go, can we get an injury report on Nick Chubb of why he's not in the game?
Yeah.
And then the thing of like, are they trying to make Baker look like a jackass so they can cut him?
Yeah.
Because it had that feeling
of like that feeling
where he set an NFL record throwing 10 straight incompletions, and at that time Nick Chubb wasn't in the game and he's averaging 8 yards carry. Hey, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So today,
yes, I saw where there's anger between the two of them.
Yeah, and there's the lady wrote that.
Yeah.
And did you see Baker's response?
Yep, clickbait.
I love it. This is clickbait. Don't put words in my mouth to put food on your table.
Yep.
That is
it's great.
There's a couple quarterback lines that came out this week against reporters. That was awesome. That was awesome for Baker.
Yep.
The thing with Cleveland, since they picked up his option last year, he is guaranteed it's 18.6, but $19 million next year.
Yep.
If they can go get a Rodgers or a Russell Wilson or something like that, yeah, go get it, because that's who it is. And then, Baker Mayfield is a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Is he working with you? Well, he's hurt all year. We don't have this conversation as when he tore that shoulder. If he'd have just been done with the season and got surgery, none of this happens.
Yeah.
But, it'd be one of those things. If they get one of those guys in, they got to cut him, because if you get Russell Wilson, you're not going to be able to trade Baker Mayfield. Exactly. They're like, we're just going to wait for you to cut him and we'll pick him up. So, but if they do it post June 1st, they can split that over 2 seasons, and the salary cap goes from 187 up to 210.
Yep.
So they'll fine.
Make it work.
But they're in win now mode, so they got to do that. But I'm not a Browns fan. But just I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I like Baker Mayfield. And that'll swing into my thoughts of people who love Joe Burrow right now, that cockiness or whatever.
Yep.
That's Baker Mayfield.
100%.
Now, is Joe Burrow more talented?
Yes.
Yeah. But they're the same kind of cockiness kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everything you love about Joe Burrow is the same thing that Baker Mayfield has.
The problem that I have with the people who do not like Baker Mayfield, you're right, he's been hurt. His decision-making has been in question for a long time, but your whole entire offense is based off of your run game. So when you choose not to run the ball with probably one of the best running backs in the NFL, he's not going to have open looks. He's not.
Yeah.
Now, to bash on Baker Mayfield, he tries to hit the home run ball every time.
Yep.
That's his biggest thing. I think you saw it in the first half against Pittsburgh. I mean, you have Dave Njoku wide open.
Yeah, on a rollout. You tried to push it down the field and throw a pick.
Yeah, but you have Dave Njoku wide open. Just get the first down. That would be his only problem, is he's trying to win the game on a play, and that's just not how that works.
Right.
Or he's trying.
That's college stuff.
That's college stuff. I will also flip it around and defend him and say, if he was in Arizona with that offense, he would almost have the same exact stats that Kyler Murray had minus the rushing yards.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's him.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's a shotgun quarterback.
Yeah.
He sees things. He may be only 6 foot. I mean, he sees things better. He's a quick hitter passer. He's not the rollout, play action boot guy. That's not him. That's not what he got the number 1 overall pick for. He's a quick hitter, slants out, stuff like that, and then the occasional the run game out of the shotgun is him.
It just popped in my head that if Cleveland were to cut him, he's your quarterback next year, right?
I do. You're
probably okay with that.
I feel with now this is
he's better than what Cleveland, because they're just using him in a wrong way.
Yeah.
You're having a quarterback do stuff that's not his game.
I mean, it's not even. I'm not comparing the quarterbacks. It's when Kubiak came in and tried to make Peyton Manning go under center all the time.
Right.
It's not who they are.
Yep.
Now, if that's who you are as a coach, then you need to get a quarterback who is that person.
Yeah.
Case Keenum, that person. You're going to pay him less. He's probably going to do what you ask him to do.
Yeah.
If Baker would come to Denver, there's Doug Peterson either better be the head coach or the offensive coordinator, because the offense that he put together in Philly for however long he was there fits Baker Mayfield. Like 90% out of shotgun, a lot of motion stuff. I mean, it's Kansas City's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where he learned it from.
What it is.
He fits that way better than what is in Cleveland.
Yeah. All right. Now I guess we can move to the southern part of the state now of just freaking Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I mean, I love that in the afterwards of Joe Burrow just going, well, that meme, F it, Jamar's down there somewhere. Because that's kind of what it was of like, and he just, each time, because the last few weeks of like Jamar hadn't been getting a lot and he's been dropping some stuff. And then all of a sudden, as soon as that talk comes up again, okay, well, here's 250 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
To all of us that didn't play him.
Yeah, exactly. I think Richard Sherman said on his podcast, he said that it is the remnants of Brady and Edelman and Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
That combo. Now, they're obviously not there. He wasn't saying that they're there yet.
Right.
But it's an early sign of the dangerous combination that these two can have together.
Yeah. And then that got to thinking of like LSU of Joe Burrow with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is running back. I'm like, well, no kidding, they were scoring 70 points a game.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But it was, I'll tell you, in the great thing for that game is, one, they don't get a ton of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase does.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, pretty damn good, 1,000-yard receiver. Boyd, pretty damn good. I think he was close to 1,000 yards. If he didn't, I'm not so sure. They were pretty close to having 3,000-yard guys.
Your third wide receiver is your team captain.
Yeah.
Probably a pretty big, important guy.
Joe Mixon, pretty good.
Yeah.
Defense, pretty. I mean, like the Bengals they're right there. They may be too young.
They're an offensive line away from winning a Super Bowl.
100%.
They're an offensive line away from winning a Super Bowl. I mean, that's my hot take, if you want to call it that.
Well, that'd be it. You go from 180 because they spent a ton of money in the offseason.
And for people who can automatically contribute.
Yeah,
it wasn't
got a tackle.
Just,
they got Trey Henderson might be the best free agency signing. I mean,
to offhand,
just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has a minimum of a half a sack for the last 12 games.
Yeah, I think he led the league in sacks last year with the Saints. They just didn't have enough money to pay him.
Yeah, they don't have any money.
Yeah, but great sign. Your interior defensive line, the DJ Reader, stud.
Yeah,
Larry Ogunjobi, love him. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Then you have Sam Hubbard on the other side.
Yep.
Who can rush the passer. Your linebackers are young, and they're the new school linebackers. They're very, fast and cover. Your secondary is quietly good.
Eli Apple doesn't get any credit, but he makes. No. He dropped a pick that he should actually 2 of them.
Yeah,
but he's been cut from everybody. But it's just, hey man, we're not asking you to be a lockdown corner that everybody else has asked you.
Yeah.
Which you can say when the Giants drafted him of like, well, hey man, he's not the number 7
overall pick. I don't know. You shouldn't have drafted him that high.
Yeah, he was meant to go to a good team that needed a second corner.
Yeah,
which is what he is. And then you get Von Bell back there who makes plays.
And then the other safety's fantastic.
Is it awesome? No, Nnamdi Asomugha. It's not him.
No, it's not him.
He's got a name like that.
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
He's fantastic. Great. He's fantastic. The defense. Obviously, you just want more secondary people. More.
Always.
You have to have a secondary. But I think they're an offensive line away.
Their nickel was a free agent signing.
Yeah.
Off the
Steelers.
Yeah.
Is it Hilton or Hinton or
Hilton?
Hilton.
Yep. And then to me, the best thing is like seeing those guys Burrow with the cigar in the locker room. And they're all celebrating. It's like, and it also looks like a team that likes each other.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they look like they're having a good
fun.
time.
Yeah.
And that's as a Bengals fan, they'll mess it up. I know, in future they're going to do something. Because you only got 2 years to Burrow's going to be up on a contract.
Chase, they're the same. You're lucky they're not the same year.
Yeah, they're not the same year. Which you just hope by the time you got to pay all of them, the salary cap's going to be $250 million.
Yeah. Oh man, if they could, and I'll keep fucking banging that drum. If they can get an offensive line via draft, free agency, look out. Because they're running the ball with subpar offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And they're having success in the passing game. Now, he gets sacked a ton.
He's the most hit quarterback in the NFL.
And that's a problem because he just comes off a knee injury. They're an offensive line away from a Super Bowl contender until Burrow is gone or re-signed.
Well, here's the bad thing. I am not saying this. Please do not take this and run with it. But they're a team that could win it all now.
Yeah.
Even with a bad offensive
100%
line.
could.
They're not going to.
No.
It's a bitch through the AFC. Mm-hmm. It just is. And you'd end up having to go to Kansas City.
Yep.
But, they just beat Kansas City.
Yep. They
traded a whole shit ton of missed field goals with Green Bay in overtime.
Somebody could beat the Chiefs in the divisional rounds.
Yeah.
They're beatable. They're not last year and 2 years ago Chiefs. They're gettable.
Because, the Bengals losses, they lost to the Packers.
They lost to the Browns. They lost a fluke to the Browns because they threw 5 fucking picks.
Yeah. But like they've lost to bad teams, but like all the good teams they've either beat, or it's been like close. Into overtime. Or,
yeah, I mean, you lose to the Browns, Jets. Those are your two bad losses.
Yeah,
imagine if they don't have those two losses, they're number one seed.
Yeah.
What are they? Are they 9-7?
Yeah.
Okay. If they are 10-6,
or no, are they 10-6?
I don't know.
They might be 10-6.
Are they 10-6? They could be. I don't know.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away the Jets loss, you're competing.
You're right there.
You're competing this week for the number one seed.
Yeah, and that was a lot of people were asking. Well, should they really give Joe Burrow the week off of?
Yes, you're
100%. You can't get
out of the playoffs.
Hit.
Yeah.
You can't get them hit,
and you can't get out of the playoffs. You're the fourth seed, no matter what.
Here's the rundown of the AFC. I mean, if the Colts beat the Jags, you're probably playing the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that depending on and that's
depends on
if the Bengals beat, depending on where they fall, and it's not a guarantee. I mean, it's been like 8 years or 5 years or whatever since the Colts have beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville, which is
it's just an anomaly,
crazy.
Yeah.
So they're either playing the Colts or the Patriots.
Yep.
That's it just kind of depends. Like if they win,
and they would 100% beat the Patriots.
I still don't. We should have looked that up. We talked about it last week, but I'm not 100% sure the Patriots would beat a playoff team. Outside of that game and the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't think they have. But and the Bengals shockingly get turnovers, and the Colts quarterback likes to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if your defensive line fails and Jonathan Taylor runs for 200, I mean,
there's some. The Colts
you got to keep Jonathan Taylor under 120 yards.
Yeah.
And you can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense is good.
Yes, their defense is good. The Patriots' defense is good. They're going to take Jamar Chase away from you, but the Bengals have other really good weapons that they can expose them.
And Uzama gets no credit, but he makes big catches.
Yeah, he does. There's three other guys that are better than him.
A lot of other guys, I mean. But that's basically the rundown of the Colts win and they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And then between the Chargers and whoever wins the Chargers-Raiders game is in.
Did you see the crazy stat?
The scenario. The
scenario, yeah, not a stat. But if the Jags beat the Colts, the Raiders and the Chargers could both tie and get in. Get both in. Could you imagine if they just each took like 15 knees or 20 knees or whatever it takes?
That was the talk today, and I'd heard somebody talk to somebody from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because, that's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Because if you just knee the ball out and then on the last knee of the game, the Raiders just chuck one down the field and score and win.
Yeah.
Now you're out of so you have to play a full game because you can't trust the other person.
One of my favorite scenarios is if the Steelers pop in.
Well, the Ravens can still get in. If they beat the Steelers and Jacksonville.
It's the same scenario either way.
Yeah.
It's one of those two teams have to beat each other. Jags have to beat the Colts, and then I think the Raiders have to beat the Chargers, or the Chargers have to beat the Raiders. One of those. But the fact that we're going into Week 17 and there's still fucking scenarios is awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, you have that. I mean, chances are the Raiders are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, I think the Chargers are going to beat the Raiders.
I do too.
And that... I don't know that there's a way that Jacksonville beats. I mean, it should just be Indy and the Chargers is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I cannot imagine a way that the Jags beat the Colts.
But if they're not handing the ball off and Carson throws 5 picks, it could.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But you got to imagine they're in Jacksonville. All the U-Hauls are already backed up to the stadium. That all the Jacksonville guys are like, hey, can we just get this done and get out of here? But then again, you might get a hell of a game out of the Jags because they're putting film out there in their last game of a bunch of guys that might not have a job next year.
Yeah. This is off topic as hell, but it reminds me of the Jags because it came against them. Kyle Pitts, the rookie tight end for the Falcons, has 1 touchdown catch on the year, and it's not on U.S. soil.
He's only got 1?
He got 1.
He got targeted a bunch.
He has a shitload of yards, but he has 1 touchdown, and it's in London.
Against the Jags?
It's the Jags. That's why it reminded me of it.
You would stump everybody.
Yeah.
On that.
Isn't that just wild. As many targets as he might almost have 1,000 yards receiving as a rookie tight end. Yeah, crazy.
That's a wild stat.
Mm-hmm. Can we just both agree right now that Rodgers should win the fucking MVP?
It's not even, there's not even a question. I know a lot of people, I'm a Jonathan Taylor fan.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, let's remember, one, it's, they don't affect the game like quarterbacks do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the world that we live in.
Yeah.
And two, after Derrick Henry got beat, it took you 2 weeks of him not playing before you overtook his rushing, so
3 weeks.
Or 3 weeks. So you're not even technically the rushing leader. I mean, you are, but you're not.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers he's thrown 4 interceptions on the year. That's it.
That's fantastic.
I don't know how many touchdowns he has.
I don't know either. But
him and Devontae Adams is not fair.
I still, to this day, have no idea how Devontae Adams is as open as he is.
Did you hear him when they asked him about what young players need to do?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Work on your foot drills and run routes.
Run full speed routes.
Run them at full speed because we play football at full speed.
Uh-huh.
It's not worth going out there and just doing drills for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're football players.
Yeah, it was great.
That was awesome. The guy that writes in for Chicago, Aaron Rodgers, because he never does it.
Nope.
Like, he'll say stuff about the media on McAfee show or whatever, but he specifically
called that guy out.
Dunked on that guy.
Yep.
The fact that when they asked him, and then he just goes, guy's a bum.
Yep.
He's always been a bum. And then, like, we've never met, we've never talked, we've never had
he
dinner.
Doesn't even fucking know
we've
me.
never did an interview. He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Guy, and then say, I guess if the MVP is the most vaccinated player.
Yeah.
Everything about it is, I don't care if you hate Rodgers. The fact that he did that has to make you happy because it's exactly what you would want yourself to do if somebody was trying to shit on you.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy came out today,
the reporter,
half-ass apologizing but blaming everybody else for that. It's like, dude, in your original statement, you said you're not voting for the guy even though he's the best player on the field.
Yeah.
Well, it's the MVP.
Yep.
Even if you think he's a shitbag, a guy that you don't know, which is weird that people make a lot of it. Like, there's a lot of Twitter stuff of Aaron Rodgers is just a douchebag. It's like, you don't know the guy.
Nope, you don't know him at all.
You've never met him.
Nope.
And you never will.
No.
So the fact that you have that thought is weird.
Yeah.
But you came out and said that, dude. And you're a voter.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a... And that is a weird thing, because that's... people don't want to say, well, that awards don't mean anything for Aaron Rodgers because he doesn't have those awards in his contract. And he probably, I'm sure he does, but it's like $100,000 or something like that.
The motherfucker definitely wants the MVP award.
100%.
He does, because it's they shit on the organization.
Yeah.
And that, at this point in his career, and you can say what you want about the guy, he's done enough. He doesn't have to prove anything to anybody, but he still wants to because the way that he's been treated for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he wants the MVP. Because he'll just walk right out of fucking town with it.
Yeah.
And say, see ya, I'm the MVP. And you don't want me.
He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
He's going to play. But I know everybody keeps running with that. Where's he going to go? He's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Well, is he going to retire? Nope, not doing that either.
No.
But, yeah, just him dunking on that guy was awesome. I love that because I get so tired. If Russell Wilson wants to shit on me because as many shits as I've taken on him, that's fine. Because I don't know the guy. I think I do, but I don't know the guy. I mean, he's a bad person. But, I like, and then when he does that, because everybody's been shitting on Rodgers all year, big fiasco. But when he does that, and then you see all the other reporters go shit on that guy.
Oh, I know.
It's like,
he's winning it.
I really fucked up here.
Yep.
I thought all my guys would be on my side. Nope, they were not.
This guy's the fucking best player in the NFL. He is the MVP.
Because what that guy did unknowingly guaranteed Rodgers wins the MVP. Because I think there's a bunch of guys that weren't going to vote for him.
Yeah.
And not because, but it has something to do with the vaccinated thing. But it's not whether he is or not, but they felt like he lied to them.
Yeah.
So the media is not going to vote you in. But since this guy says it.
Yeah. He's definitely getting it now.
He's got to get it now.
Yeah.
Because now you just they make those votes public and they say, oh, you didn't vote for him. So it's just, so you're not, we need to take your vote away because you're not even watching football.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, ball is the game. Guy never gives it away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many touchdown passes he has.
But he only has 4 picks.
Only has 4 picks.
I guarantee at least 2 of them tip passes or
I think 2
off
of them
the
happened in
receiver.
the first game of the season against New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, you're
I think
probably
he threw
right.
2 picks.
Yeah, because they got fucked in that game.
Hammered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and with the Devontae stuff, man, he runs that back shoulder down that sideline. What do you do?
Nothing.
I mean, everybody
Pray he
shits
drops
on
it.
that cornerback. Of like, that guy had phenomenal coverage.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams was not open.
No, he threw him
Except
open.
for when it's Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball.
Yeah, those 2 guys are coming back.
Well, the bad thing is because they're kind of a package deal, and everybody thinks about that, but they're not. Like if they let Rodgers walk, Devontae's a free agent, but he's not because they can still tag him.
Yeah,
because a lot of teams think like, hey, Denver, hey, we signed Rodgers, we're getting Devontae. Well, the Packers don't have. They can just franchise him.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
Yeah, but he has to sign it too.
Yeah, I'm not saying he'll show up, but they could do that.
They could.
But, I mean, they basically end his career if they do that.
Now, since we're on that train, Peter King. Everybody should know who fucking Peter King is. He did a little scenario of Aaron Rodgers, and it was to the Broncos, and it actually was legitimately equal. However, they do their formulas.
Right.
It was 2 first-rounders, a third, and Jerry Jeudy for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then hopefully signing Devontae Adams in the near future. If that's equal, and however the media does it, it's not a bad deal. Now it could be for anybody. That's just he just used it for Denver because they don't have a quarterback. But it's not a bad deal for really anybody who needs one.
And that's the thing. If you're Green Bay and you're moving on, you got to let Devontae go because you're in a rebuild with your quarterback, and you can't ask this guy.
Yeah,
because if you tag him 2 years, you got to pay him $19 million next year, and then the year after that would be like $25 million.
And he doesn't get anywhere close of the stats that he has.
No, you end it. Well, Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
making $18 million on a tag, and he's got like 7 catches on the year.
Yeah.
I mean, guy, he's got to go sign a $10 million deal somewhere else.
Just to get his name back up there.
And they can tag him again.
I know,
but it'd be for about $25 million. Yeah, that's I don't know. NFC scenarios. Basically,
now
49ers win.
I think they beat the Cardinals. Yeah,
because 49ers got to win.
They beat the Rams. They play the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams already in.
Yeah,
and
they haven't. But you're going in for the. Haven't clinched the division yet, though.
They clinched a spot, though, didn't they?
They clinched a spot. Both them and the Cardinals.
Home field is not decided yet for that division. Yeah, I mean the Packers already clinched their. Everybody's got to go through Green Bay. What's the other scenario on that? If San Francisco loses.
I think your 3 wild cards are already determined.
There's one scenario that's available in the NFC.
Really?
Yeah. There's one that's not locked up yet.
Oh, okay.
Because there's 2 in the AFC and there's 1 in the NFC that's not locked up.
Then it's Philly. That would be the only one that makes sense.
Philly's already locked.
As a playoff spot?
Yeah. They clinched last week.
Philly did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, let me get to it. I'm pulling it up right now.
Same here. I got it pulled up. Yeah, Philly did clinch. My fault.
I mean, it's all right. I know you're an idiot.
The Niners could be out and New Orleans could be in, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's New Orleans still. Yeah, the Niners are last. There's one berth available. Yeah, the Niners and the Saints are the only.
Niners win and they're in. Saints.
Yeah,
Saints would have. I mean, they would have to win and the Niners would have to lose.
Yeah.
Now this is a big take. If the Niners lose, is Shanahan's job in question?
No.
Okay.
No, because they're on that. I think him and Lynch are tied at the hip, and they got this Trey Lance thing.
Well, are all 3 of their jobs in question?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Got to wait to see what the Trey Lance thing does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the 2 of them are now tied to Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Because you gave away a lot to go get that guy.
Yeah, you did.
When you didn't need to. You already had a quarterback, and you gave up a lot to go get that guy. So that's one of those ones now next year. And there's another one we forget about. Jimmy G is going to hit the market next year.
And going to get paid.
$20-25 million.
And he's going to get paid.
Yeah, he's going to go play somewhere. He's going to end up. So we talked a lot about this. A lot of people talk about the Saints, man, but they got to dump so much salary cap.
Yeah.
Because
you want to talk a guy who fits Cleveland's offense? You're right there.
That's your guy.
That's your guy.
I mean, can't say healthy, but that's your guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want somebody who's going to do what Stefanski wants.
Jimmy G will not make the mistakes, and he will get you to the playoffs running that offense with that run game and that defense.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For $20 million.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get more than that.
No.
I mean,
a bad team's going to pay him 25.
Yeah, just because he's bad. A name and he can do something. But, yeah, I know a lot of people, they keep saying, like that New Orleans is in play for these quarterbacks that might be available. Like,
they don't have any money. They don't have any money, guys.
The salary cap goes up $25 million, and they're still behind the 8 ball on that one.
They're going to have to trade Michael Thomas to make anything up.
Still got that dead.
I understand that, but
now
it's better than
you can kick that down the road.
Which I think he's traded anyway.
Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other one. We don't. And, I was talking with that fan today, and he was talking about, and I'd completely forgot about it. He brought up Desean Watson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I know we hit on that like the first 3 weeks of the NFL season. You forgot that Desean Watson made $35 million this year.
Yep, and didn't play down.
Because in your mind, you think that he's suspended, but he's not.
Not.
He's on the active roster. He doesn't want to play there. They didn't want to trade him.
Yeah, because nothing has happened.
Nope. There's no criminal charges filed against him.
Nope. Yeah. So you're either going to keep paying him?
And this guy's suggestion, Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, too. You're going to have to change some things for him.
Yeah, I don't know what you do if you're Miami. Are you still going to shit all over Tua?
Who knows?
It seems like that's what they like to do in Miami. I mean, you went and drafted this guy number 4 overall or 3 overall, and you've done nothing but shit on him for 2 years.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Deshaun Watson, Cleveland makes sense.
Yep.
Because he's a guy, and he's already under contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, if it's
Cleveland
still
has the cap to do it, too.
And if it's still 3 first-round picks, who cares?
Yeah.
Draft picks are nothing.
Nope.
Especially for 3 years if you already have a quarterback.
Yeah, and you already have everybody else signed. You technically, the only thing that you would benefit, because you're not re-signing Clowney, would be another edge rusher. That would be the only thing a draft pick would get you, and it would only be for this year, because if you have Watson, you're not picking anybody good.
You're not getting anybody.
You're not getting anybody.
You'll sign. And that's the Deshaun Watson thing, too, is like you can sign a wide receiver with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, 100% can.
You get a guy.
Yeah.
Landry's going to stick around if that happens. I mean, because he's probably out.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know where he's at on his contract, but it's got to be getting there.
Yeah. But yeah, you can get a couple people. People will want to come to Cleveland for him.
Yeah.
Just to see what it's like.
Yeah. Probably know masseuses, but.
Yeah.
Well, my wife's a masseuse. I'm not coming to play with Deshaun. I know he likes to tallywhack him.
Oh, man.
Smacking him in the forehead. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Where are we at on the list there? Did we cover?
We covered everything but Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, man. And the development of everything today that's happened with that.
Yeah.
First of all, obviously, he took his pads off, quit in the middle of the game, ran across the end zone, did some jumping jacks.
Waved.
That's weird.
Yep. Then peace out and left.
Arians, after the game, says he's no longer a Buck.
Then for 2 days was still a Buck.
Well, but that's strategic.
Yes, I understand.
Because they had to wait. They waited long enough to cut him so another team couldn't pick him up.
Yep.
Because he's got to clear waivers. He couldn't play this weekend. And if you're not on the active roster, you can't play in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's kind of what they did. But, okay, now, today, Antonio Brown came out with a written statement that he may or may not have wrote, because it was very well written.
Yes, it was.
He may have dictated it.
Yes, what he wanted, what said, and somebody else
wrote that, because, I mean, grammatically was perfect.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't get fucking right.
Basically, talked about his injury.
Yep.
Went to the hospital that the Bucs wanted him to go to and had the head guy look at him and say that this is what needed to happen. The Bucs wanted him to go to the low-level guy that were probably going to say what they needed to happen. Basically, he's hurt. He took it that Arians cut him in the middle of the game, and he just decided, I want your stuff off my body. You just cut me. So his side of it is they wanted him to play through pain. They gave him a shot of shit that you really maybe not supposed to be using.
Yep.
He couldn't play anymore. They fired him in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's his side of the story, how he sees it.
Yep.
The Bucs see it as, we knew you were hurt. We went through this. We didn't know you were going to play this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You threw a tantrum in the locker room at halftime because you weren't getting targeted enough.
Yeah.
Came out today via Ian Rappaport that on Wednesday he went to the Bucs and wanted them to fully guarantee his bonuses, which they don't do because that's not how the bonuses structure works in the NFL. And when they didn't guarantee him that, he got really shitty, like he was already checking out.
Yeah.
And comes that since the suspension, he didn't feel like he got enough love from the organization when he got suspended for the Vax card, that it was starting to feel like you could see a difference in him in the locker room.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians today, he also said that the Arians fired him and then gave him a throat slash. Arians replies of, I told him to get off the field and I pointed. It's not a throat slash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we're at now, and I'm sure since we've sat down, some other shit have came out that we have not seen.
Yeah. My thoughts on it are, I want the guy to have success. I really do. And he's very adamant about saying that he has struggles.
Yeah.
And he owns that. It's really hard for me to think that he has another job because of the way he walked off the field.
That's to me, that's the thing of, like, you ended your career there.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be the most epic thing that ever happened to end a career, because it's shitty what he did, but if that's just how he retired from the NFL, it's fucking awesome.
I really want him to have another shot, but the way that
he's so good,
the way that he left, if he would have just after the game in the locker room handed him their stuff and said, "Cut me, I'm not playing." That's one thing. That's one thing.
Yeah,
but to publicly do that,
well, and here's the other one. As that's all going down, there's only one player on the team trying to stop him.
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Everyone else just kind of watching, like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a bad thing. And like I touched on that earlier. Of like, you can think he's a shitbag and whatever you want to do, but guy's still the best.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown at his peak when he is playing, and not dealing with all the other shit he's got going on. It's not even close.
No, not even close at all.
Devontae Adams get open by 5 yards. Somehow Antonio Brown with triple coverage gets open by 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
But just can't.
I mean, that might be the biggest downfall in NFL history, is the fact that him and Le'Veon Bell could never win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Granted, in their prime, Tom Brady was still a Patriot.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was a Bronco. I mean,
it's tough.
The Ravens were good. I mean, that's really what that's their biggest issue there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was basically at that point in time, it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning was the AFC.
Yeah.
And the Ravens twice.
Yep.
Of, hey man, that's just a tough draw of the cards.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, but they all said the downfall with him is the last year that he played. Le'Veon Bell was voted the team's offensive MVP and not him.
Yeah.
And they said that it was significant change. Like, you could see that you guys are a bunch of clowns, did not think that I'm the best player on this team.
Yeah.
It just went downhill from there. And the Raiders, I mean, that thing flew off the rails before it even started.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
And people throw the Patriots in there of, like, the Patriots had to cut him. I don't think they wanted to.
No.
Guy had 9 catches and a touchdown their first game. But, all these accusations came, they kind of had to, and
save
the owner was already, going to trial over a rub and tug joint.
Exactly.
So it kind of had to, they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the bad, because he's so fucking good. So fucking good.
Yeah.
It sucks that he's not playing in the NFL again.
And it's a weird thing, like he's posturing to play in the NFL again.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about, well, he's doing all this so he can file a grievance and get paid. Well, his base pay was so low.
Yeah.
He's basically doing all this stuff to win a grievance for $60,000 because it's only one game check.
Yeah.
Because if you're not on the team, you don't get playoff checks. I mean, there's maybe a future earnings, portion to that.
Yeah.
But the way you quit, they just come out, well, no team's going to, you're not getting future earnings because what you just did.
The reason he came out with his statements is because he wants to play.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
He wants to play somewhere.
He wants to play somewhere. He is saying his side. If he didn't want to play anywhere and if he was done, he wouldn't have said anything. He would have came out and said, I was injured and they made me play and I didn't feel like I was able to play. That's all he would have said.
Yep.
But his lawyer comes out and they have this big statement that he's trying to get people to understand that that's what in his mind was going on. The way he reacted to it is why he won't play.
Yeah. And the next thing you're going to see from him is probably that porn star smooching his 1.5 foot long penis again.
Somebody tweeted and said,
Jesus.
Antonio Brown will fight a Paul brother by the end of the year.
That might be true, too. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't think you want to fight Antonio Brown because something tells me he's going to throw hands.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little nuts. That'd
be a good move by Jake.
Yeah.
Sign him.
Yeah.
You're not getting any fights anyways. No. Sign him. Because it's a shame. I mean, it sucks, but. And then everybody points back of like, hey, man, he hadn't been the same since Vontaze Burfict almost murdered him on the field.
The little CTE problems.
And then that comes back of seeing that replayed of like, man, he did do him dirty. I mean, he ripped his head off.
Yeah.
That Ben kind of threw him a hospital ball.
But still.
And Ben threw him a hospital ball knowing that Vontaze Burfict was over there of like, hey, that's what that guy does.
Yeah,
so
he ends people's careers. So
he hit himself out of the league.
Yeah. Well, he did that with the Raiders.
Yeah, but
I mean, he
is no longer in football is because the way he hit people, I mean, dirty
as shit.
Yeah, but it's like that's a guy who ended his career by decapitating people.
Yep.
When you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's I don't think we need to cover anything else about the playoffs because we'll know the rest of it come this weekend. It's going to be really tough this weekend picking games. I assume that's where we're heading to next. I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be tough for Wideside.
Yeah,
because you got to try to pick players who you think are going to try,
or
that's going to try to play.
Yeah.
And who's the asshole that won this week?
My stepbrother Cameron.
Is he the tall guy with the small penis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some say maybe the tallest person ever with a small wiener.
I would say that's pretty accurate. And he's a fucking narc.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's a tattletale?
Yeah. He's a state trooper.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
You be that tall to get in and out of the vehicle? That's going to be weird.
And with a hat on.
Yeah,
he's got to wear his Stetson.
Got like a little Jimmy cap.
I asked him I was like, can you wear like one of those like backwards hats? He's like, no. I'm like,
does he put a condom over it when it rains?
I think so. Yeah, because you can't get that wet.
I was really going to shit on him. I didn't know he's a cop. Is he a cop around here?
No.
Oh, well, then I can shit all over him. I don't really know him. I'm sure I've met him before out at the golf course or something like that.
Yeah, he worked for you for a summer.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
For sure did not.
For sure he did.
When?
It was. I don't even think it was for a full summer. You were with us when we dug up the sand traps on 5 on the side. No, you weren't there?
No.
That was TJ then?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are not the same person.
I know that. I know that. I couldn't remember the year. I couldn't remember the year you came and the year he left.
No, I was at the other place. He might have came and weedied when you guys used to come. It was probably him. He was probably the tall, lanky guy.
Yes. Yeah.
That was kept chasing squirrels.
Yeah. Yeah, and trying to put his finger up their butt. Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen him catch a goose and do that.
The goose did not like it.
Well, when the goose did it to him, he liked it.
That's different.
3 beaks in there.
Yeah.
He's a weird kid.
It's super weird. Yeah, he's a cop, though.
I don't know if you need to shit on cops the way you're doing it. I mean,
it's okay.
He's
my brother.
Yeah, but the other cops aren't that might listen to this show.
Well, I love the cops. I love the police, but he's my brother. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
It seemed like you were taking a broad shot at all cops and not specifically saying, hey, you're a douchebag.
Yeah. Sorry. Do you mean to say that? Or?
I think it was supposed to be more directly to him because he's not good.
Yeah, he's not.
At being a person.
No. Yeah. He needs to go to hell.
All of you are pieces of shit for not letting us win.
Yeah.
And then you started a golf one for us to lose at.
Yeah, I know.
Which is just a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
We're all terrible at that.
Okay, so Eagles won by 4. Man, got that one. Ravens, they covered. I'm 2-0. Cardinals +6. Did I get that one too? No, shit. Wait, no. Yeah, they were the underdog. Yep, won that one. Bengals won that one. Steelers won that one. I went undefeated.
That's the first time that's happened
Ever.
for Wideside Sports since probably week 4 or 5.
Something like that.
And I think that was you also.
You lost the Colts game. They won by 3, not 7. Titans, you covered big time. Bears, I think they won by 5. Yeah, they won by a bunch. Packers won by 7. Chargers, they win by 6.5. Where are they at? Yeah, they beat my Broncos by plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you went 4-1, I went 5-0. Good week for the old Widesiders.
If FanDuel was legal in Ohio, we'd have had a good week. Well, just think about that.
Yeah, I know.
Because we talked about that when FanDuel becomes legal, that we're each going to take like $5 or $10 and just parlay our own picks.
Yeah.
That's the second time this year you would have hit a 5 parlay for.
Yeah.
I don't know, if $10 probably win you with the odds and stuff, maybe $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
fuckers.
Good day.
Good day. Good day.
But it should be legal by baseball season.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what they're dragging their feet on.
Sometime in 2022.
As soon as you voted it legal, you should have already had that stuff in place.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, FanDuel and, whatever, Barstool Sportsbook. And
MGM or whoever does
whoever the one is that does all the commercials with Patton Oswalt, who's not allowed to be on commercials anymore because he hugged Dave Chappelle, I guess. That was a weird spot.
Yeah.
Half the people don't know that happened, but that was a storyline for a day or so of like, it's Patton Oswalt. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
The guy's like the 5th best character in any movie just because he played a rat that can cook. Everybody cares. It was like 10 years ago. Nobody watched that movie.
Yeah, I did.
I know you did. It's a good movie. It's a Disney movie.
It's a good movie.
You're all in.
I am. Okay, I'm going to give you a game.
Cartoon rat lover.
Yep. That's me.
I love them.
I love them. Here we go. I'm going to give you one for Saturday.
Okay.
Cowboys at the Eagles. The Eagles are +4.5.
They both clinched.
It's really the division.
Neither of them are playing for anything.
Division. No, Dallas already won their division. Yeah, they're clinched. Yeah, no, they're not playing for anything.
They're not playing for anything. So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay.
Plus the 4.5.
Okay.
I don't know what Dallas is still. I know they
got a lot of COVID problems too right now. So I don't think Parsons is playing. I don't think Tyron Smith's playing.
Yeah, I think probably not going to have Dak play, and Elliott's probably not playing.
I would assume not.
So I'm going to take the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know what they got going for them.
I don't know why they would play Hurts either.
There's no reason to because he's a run threat.
Yeah.
That can cause somebody's going to have a problem with Philadelphia, however that breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And that gets you, that travels in the playoffs.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give you the shit bowl of the football team at the Giants. Football team is -7 at the Giants, who their coach says, hey, there's people calling all the time that want to come play for the Giants.
Nobody calls, buddy.
You're trying to.
Yep.
He went on an 8-minute rant of why the Giants are better.
Yep.
Well, you don't see we're building a culture, and the culture's built. Hey, coach, this is the NFL. It's wins and losses. Nobody gives a shit about your culture. You know that's good culture? Teams that win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
You're fighting for your job in the media right now. Stop.
Yeah.
I have the football team by 7. I'll take the points.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the Bears at the Vikings. The Bears are +5.5.
I'm going to take the Vikings minus the 5.5.
Okay.
What are they doing with Zimmer? Is he fired, or is he
haven't
coaching
heard
for
anything.
his job?
I haven't heard anything. I know that they have the 31st ranked defense in the NFL.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah, and that's his thing. So he may be canned. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a whole weird scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. I had a game picked out for you, and then when you told me mine, I scrolled up to see it.
No.
I was like, damn it, I just lost it. Oh, Steelers at the Ravens.
Ooh.
The Ravens are -4.5 at home. Both teams have it's not a big chance. Both teams have a chance.
Yeah, Lamar's,
I picked the Ravens to get in. Now, obviously, that scenario has fallen through.
I'm still going to go with the Steelers with the +4.5. They don't have to win the game.
Well, here's the thing. Ben Roethlisberger locked up never having a losing season.
Yep.
Because they're going to end up, if they lose, they're going to end up 8-1, where that tie comes in, which also means that Tomlin will have made 15 seasons, his first 15 seasons coaching, never having a losing record, which is amazing.
Amazing.
But if they beat him, then it's a bunch of winning seasons. Now they've went 8-8 before, but
yeah, I'm going with the Steelers the plus 4.5. Lamar Jackson has practiced once in 25 days. Don't see him playing Sunday.
But then again, they almost beat a lot of teams way, though.
They have. But yeah, I'm going with the Steelers with the plus 4.5.
Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball 45 times the other day for 130 yards.
I know he did.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Sack yards? That's the only thing I can count. Yeah, real bad. Real bad.
I did love what he said. They have that whole thing, thank you, Ben, like kind of the final lap, right? Which is awesome. I mean, a guy that goes one career in one place, 2 Super Bowls.
No losing seasons.
Never had a losing season. But then I love what he said after. It's like, hey, get all this done. And they're like, shit, we got to go play Baltimore next week.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a cool thing, too. And I think because Baltimore fans are notorious for shitting on you.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be an awesome thing that when the game's over, because I have a feeling that Ben's going to do that kind of a lap around Baltimore where you kind of clap to the fans. Yeah. And I think he'll get a he'll get a cheer.
I think he would too.
Just for respect. Just out of respect, man. I mean.
Yeah. I'm going to give you Patriots at Dolphins. The Dolphins are plus 6.5.
I'm going to take the Dolphins plus the 6.5 because some reason the Patriots
falling off.
No, they've never
covered
really been able to beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And we're talking the whole dynasty era. The Dolphins always beat the Patriots.
It's at least once.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And they, I'm going to guess they're going to be resting some guys. There's no reason for them to be doing anything. I'm going to give you. Let's see. It's a tough week to try to pick a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the shit bowl of the. Here's the other one. The Saints still have an outside shot.
Yeah, I know.
So the Saints at the Falcons. Saints are minus 3.5.
Okay.
The fact that it is week, what are we calling this, 18 now? The fact that the Saints still have a scenario which they can make the playoffs is crazy.
Yeah. Very crazy.
And not all that out of the line. If Saints win this game and the 49ers get beat,
they're in.
And the 49ers are playing the Rams.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
I'm going to take the Falcons in the points.
Okay.
Falcons plus 3.5. Something just tells me that.
Is this Matty Ice's last game for the Falcons?
It might be.
Is he cuttable? I think his contract maybe gets cuttable
this year.
Next
I think he's retirable.
Yeah.
I think he should.
Hey, Matt, I think your arm's going to fall off, buddy.
Hanging up, bud.
You're throwing with the noodle.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you. Seahawks at Cardinals. Seahawks are plus 6.5.
I'm going to take the Cardinals minus the 6.5.
Okay.
And I don't know if they have anybody playing or not. The Seahawks are just bad.
They're so bad.
They are bad. All right. Here's a game. I'm going to give you the Packers at the Lions.
God damn
Packers
it.
are minus 3.5.
Yeah.
I have no idea if anybody's playing.
I don't either.
Which Rodgers did say yesterday that they plan on playing. But is it a
one series
like that last preseason game of let's go out for a series,
score, and then
we'll go through it like we're playing. We'll get some reps in, and then we're out of here.
I'm going to still take the Lions with the points.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Playing hard for Dan Campbell.
Motor
City Dan Campbell.
Yep. Motor City Dan. Your last game will be oh man, Panthers at Bucks. Panthers are plus 8.
Oh boy. Well, the Bucks are playing for nothing because Green Bay has everything locked up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Bucks just because with all the shit show that happened around, I feel like they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're heading into the playoffs, and this is like we're kind of coming in on. Even though we won last week, we're coming. This is a bad. Like you don't want to just dump a game.
Have they locked up the division yet?
I don't know
because they've gotten beat by the Saints both times, so I don't think they've locked up the division title.
Might not have. Well, yeah, they had to. The Saints only have like 8 wins.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, they've locked up the division.
Okay. Hand me my last game, sir.
Give you the Bengals at the Browns.
Okay.
Nobody's playing for the Bengals. The Browns are -6.
I'm going to go with the Browns, the +6.
Obviously, Baker's not playing either.
Yep. Keenum going to lead them to victory against nobody.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got that locked. Like the Bucs are playing for nothing.
Yeah.
Because I think they locked the division up.
No.
Because they've got to have they've got like 11 wins.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All righty. There we go.
So basically the Titans should be the number 1 seed and have the bye.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless the Texans jump up and beat them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, which could happen.
Could happen.
I mean,
don't see it.
But for the most part, that's kind of where we're at.
And they activated Henry off the IR.
Yeah, he was at practice this week.
He's practicing this week.
So they're playing to, hey, let's get the Texans out of the way. We get this, and that gives us one more week of Derrick Henry of like, oh, you got to come to Tennessee. And hey, Derrick Henry's here
this guy.
and is the most well-rested he's ever been. And then obviously he's been rehabbing, so he's in shape.
Yep.
Now you got to get some football hits in you. But I feel like Derrick Henry's going to be okay.
I think so too. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be scary. The Titans team scary.
Yeah, the fact that they've won 11 games without him.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. And then if somehow Julio can try to get healthy in this next week.
Again.
Yep. You might be as healthy as you have been all season going into your first playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. It sucks that the NFL's coming to an end, but man, Super Wild Card Weekend is
great.
Awesome.
It's great. Can't wait. Saturday and Sunday football.
Get through this week. Get through the national championship game, and then it'll be.
Yep. NFL.
They're doing a playoff game on Monday night.
I don't know.
I think they are.
Are they?
This year, which upsets
Stupid.
me. Of like, that's just don't.
Dumb.
Why change? And I'm assuming it's for ESPN.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Stupid.
And I'm upset with the college football playoffs is that you go through a whole playoff. The fact that the NCAA, or not the NCAA, the CFP, only chooses to sell. They sold the whole thing as a package to ESPN as opposed to fixing it between Fox and them. You go through 2 semifinals and a college football championship game, and Gus does not call one of those games.
I know, it sucks.
Is a travesty.
It is.
And then on the other side, when Gus is in the NFL and they put him on garbage games that's never on TV,
stupid.
Gus Johnson is a national treasure.
He made the Lions beating the Cardinals one of the best called games of the year.
It was, you would think, I mean.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how big a fans I am of Gus Johnson.
I know.
And I know you are too.
Yes, I am.
And we are a Gus Johnson show.
Yes, we are.
And always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's probably wrapping up for what we got. We're pushing 2 hours here. I feel like that was enough to go on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Thanks to everybody for listening. Tell a friend. Be a fan.
Wideside.